Hello, I'm Viktor from Allt.
My name is Adam and I'm the drummer for Allt.
And you're watching Backstage Explorers. Hello, I'm Viktor from Allt. I'm gonna talk some about our rig here we have in Allt. Beautiful Hapas guitar that I use as my main guitar. I need some new strings on it though, but it's really good. I love it a lot. And then I have my old Aristides guitar as well, which is beautiful and super reliable. The pickups are bare knuckle, the Juggernaut Misha Mansour pickups. And the strings are same on the both guitars. It's 10 to 74, so like an 8-string pack, but skip the 7th string. And in the Hapas, it's actually Hapas' own pickup, but it's supposed to replicate like actually bare knuckle pickup something. So it's pretty similar to the one in the Aristides. About the rack, a little more in depth. We have like our Kempers that supplies the tone for the guitars. And inside the Kemper we use a capture of a Archon amp that sounds really good, and it's super flat, so out in the PA it sounds like great. And the Kempers are MIDI programmed by different tones. I think for the clean tones we use like AC130 something, so it's crystal clear, and then we have like a big reverb on them, and that's it for the Kempers. Then we have the whammy pedals, like the whammy DTs. These ones, and we use them a lot actually, and I would say nowadays we can't even play live without them because they're such a big part of our songs. Like we use the MIDI switching, so you know some songs are like, you can see where it's red here, some songs are like so it changes, and I can control in the computer exactly how it changes. You just need to dial it in perfect, so it changes at the exact right moment. So then all you need to do on stage is like play the guitar and to control the Kempers and the whammies. We have this interface that just goes directly into the computer, and it's by MIDI, and it's been super reliable. It's worked really great. And then also for the guitars we have these Sennheiser transmitters that are really great. We've never had any problems with them, so they've been super reliable and they sound great. You can move around how much you want on stage, even jump out in the crowd if you feel like that. And then we have this Focusrite sound card running the computer and tracks and stuff like that. And then we have our stereo in-ear transmitters from Sennheiser up here that are really awesome and makes it sound really great in our ears. For example, I have my guitar a little more in my left ear, so I can hear myself perfect where I am in the mix. And then we have this Behringer X32 rack to combine and mix every mix for each member in that. And then in the back, if you want to come here and check it out, all our inputs. Here we have all the inputs for our drums, our guitars, our bass, our tracks, our vocals, our click, and then it comes out of this to the front of the house. And here we have the Cubase with the tracks, running this arranger track, so you can choose where to start a song. And then, for example, at the end of this song, it automatically switches to the next song. Too many hours. You don't want to know.
So, this is my beautiful Ibanez 2127 Prestige. I really like it. Since I bought it, it's been just a reliable workhorse guitar. Almost all of the hardware, except for the bridge, have been changed at some point, because you can tell, like, this gets used a lot. But it always just stays together and it just works. I love it. I have some bare knuckle Juggernauts in here, and I have the D'Addario 10 to 74 strings. Same thing as Viktor. We use an 8-string pack, but we skip the 64 and have just 10 to 54 and the 74 here. And this is tuned in F sharp, an open F sharp tuning. So it's like F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, which gives you like very easy open chords. If you want to follow me on the stage, this is my pedal board. Yeah, it's a Boss tuner that just goes straight into the rack, and courtesy of Viktor over here, everything is pre-programmed. All of the patches, all of the everythings. The whammy is MIDI automated, all the patches automated over here in the rack. So I tune between the songs, that's it. My whammy goes into the input, and from the output that goes straight into the Kemper, and everything gets done over at the rack here. I don't really think it's an understatement that hundreds and hundreds of hours have been spent dialing this in perfectly for our needs, and it has only failed us once. So I think that's a pretty good stamp, I would say, on almost 100 shows.
Hello guys, my name is Adam and I'm the drummer for Allt. Today we are playing in Paris, and I'm about to show you my spaceship of a drum set right now. So let's start off with the actual shells. Right now it's a bit of a mixed and match right now, because for the toms I'm using the Tama Superstar Hyperdrive Birch, and I also have a bass drum that is a Star Classic Birch Bubinga. The thing is, the reason why I do that is because it has a bit of a specific hardware on the bass drum legs, and I need to extend them a lot for me to have the perfect feeling for my pedals, and also that the original bass drum for the actual kit is very deep, and that just takes unnecessary space on stage, I would say. For the snare, right now I'm using the Tama SLP G Maple 13x7. It has a lot of crack and a lot of attack, which I really enjoy. And for the heads, I'm endorsing Tama drum heads. So for the snare, I'm always going for the Evans Hybrid. Right now for the toms, I'm using the Evans UV2. I'm usually a clear head guy, but these heads are just so durable. And while being on tour, I feel like I don't have to switch heads as much when I'm using these type of heads. For the cymbals, I'm endorsing Meunier cymbals, and right now, if we go from left to right, I'm using the Pure Alloy Medium 14-inch hi-hats, the Classic Custom Dual 18-inch China, the Classic Custom Dual 18-inch Crash. Right here I have a Meunier M Series 8.5-inch. These are not in the making anymore, but I was really lucky to actually get the last two from the Meunier factory, even though they were like discontinued. So huge shout out to Meunier for hooking me up with this one. For the splash cymbals, I'm using the Classic Custom Brilliant 10-inch Blast and the Classic Custom Brilliant Extreme Metal Splash 10-inch. Crash cymbal right here is the Pure Alloy medium 19-inch Crash. China right here is the Classic Custom Dark 18-inch China. For the ride cymbal, I'm using the MB20 22-inch Heavy Bell Ride. These are also discontinued, but I'm so glad that I got my hands on these because I freaking love this ride. And for the stack right here, I have a combination between two cymbals, and those are the Classic Custom Trash 16 and 18-inch Chinas. And this stack cymbal is aggressive, and it works so well for the music that we're playing. If you come down to the floor right here, I'm using the Charche Copyto pedals, and these are like a Polish brand of pedals. They're custom made. I've been playing these pedals since 2018, and I got endorsed by them in 2024. And these pedals are, if you ask me, hands down the best pedals out there. Like, they're super road proof. I've been using these in 2018, and I have basically never done any type of maintains, and I don't know if you can hear it, but if I would just touch them and let them just move, they are absolutely no sound. They still work like new. So yeah, I can highly recommend them if you never checked them out before. Right now, this is actually the first tour I'm using the Tama rack right here, and all of the cymbal arms and all of the hardware is from Tama as well. And I also forgot to mention that I'm endorsing Tama, so I thought it was time for me to try the rack out, and it's been amazing so far. It's super easy to like set up, and everything is so sturdy and still so lightweight, and that is so appreciated, especially when you're loading in and out and setting up the kit and setting it down, tearing it down every day basically. I recently switched to minor drumsticks actually. I signed with these guys just 1 week before the tour, and right now I'm rocking with the Heavy 2Bs, and these are very lightweight and they are also very durable. They are holding up so well. I was a bit skeptical at first, but you know, because of having a very lightweight stick, they usually crack or like break very fast. But these, I don't know, Meunier did something magical to it, and these are holding up so well, and I really enjoy the feel of these. When it comes to all the electronics on my kit, I'm only responsible right now for the triggers I'm using. And if you take a closer look, like down here underneath the pedal, if that's possible, I have some type of trig mics down here that are called on triggers, which I'm also endorsing. I've been using these triggers since 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and they are super smooth to work with. I never have to do any type of like changes on my model settings or whatsoever. I don't have to change everything, and it's, even though I have to like sometimes use like the house kit, they are super easy to adjust if needed, but right now when I use my own kit, they are basically perfectly set up every time. And these ones right here, if you follow me, I plug them into one of my Roland trigger modules. This is the only thing I need to be responsible when it comes to all of this kind of stuff. I only have the Roland TM2. Everything goes with the backtracks and all that, it goes through the computer, so I just have to go up on stage and do my thing. And yeah, that's everything I have to care about when it comes to electronics. Oh, warm-up routine. Basically what I do nowadays, I just take up my practice pad and I just warm up my hands for roughly 20 minutes, and my practice routine is a bit different like from day by day, because I'm not a big fan of only taking up the metronome and start to play with that, even though it's a great tool. But for me to get like hyped for the show, I usually put up some music in my ears and just play to that. And obviously I'm start with like some pop songs just to get the groove in and get the feeling down. And for my feet, I don't really have any specific things done. I used to like have the practice pad and sit and warm up for like 30 minutes. As some of you guys might know, I used to be a death metal drummer, but now when I'm playing with Allt, we do have some like things that requires to have my feet warm, but I basically just sit down on a chair and just tap my feet. I do some heel-toe moments, even though I don't use the heel-toe technique, and swivel a bit just to make sure that my calves and feet are warm basically. So yeah, that's basically how my warm-up routine is.
Ooh. So my warm-up routine, I guess, I also sing, so I need to warm up my voice. Robin, our singer, has showed me some great routines. So it start like, get your diaphragm going, like until you feel like you really exhausted in the stomach, then you know it's working. And then you just warm up like your voice from low, like go into high. So you know that your voice is ready to yell some stupid shit to the audience. And I guess then it's also really important for us to warm up our bodies. So we like do a big stretch and stretch our legs so we can headbang a lot, like shit like that. And also your hands, you can like start to do this so you're prepared, and just like noodle around on the guitar for 5 minutes before the show. That's pretty much it for me. Then I'm ready.
How I choose my gear? That is a great question. Basically, I'm a very heavy hitter, so I try not to play with like the most fanciest cymbal just to make sure that I don't crack them just because. But the thing is that I do have like a concept, and the only thing that is really important for me is to make sure that I have cymbals, especially the cymbals that cut through, because these like classic custom dual series, they are a bit on the cheaper side, but you get so much cymbal for the price, and these really cut through the loud guitars on stage, and our vocalist that is like a very loud vocalist as well. So I just make sure to choose cymbals that I know would fit on in a live situation, but also that they really cut through. For the heads and all that and the gear itself, like I try to use sticks and I try to use heads that are durable, so I don't have to change them that often. Even though I'm a very heavy hitter, I found that the UV2s, the Evans hybrid, and like these Meunier sticks just last longer than other type of models and brands I've tried from the past. So yeah, and the same with the hardware. I just go with the hardware that I really feel comfortable with and that I trust. When it comes to the pedals, obviously they don't need any maintenance, which makes everything so much easier for me on the road. When it comes to the whole rack, everything setting up and tearing it down, it's super smooth. So I just try to bring the stuff that I trust, basically. So every time I can play on my own gear, I feel so much more safe. Sometimes when I play the house kit, I do feel a bit stressed sometimes, but if I have the chance, I always bring my own stuff, which I'm comfortable with.
Ooh, gear that sounds good and works for you. I mean, that's the most important part, that it works for you. Because a lot of people like the Quad Cortex, but we just love the Kemper. It's always worked great for us, and it's super reliable, so we just love it and stick by it. So you need stuff that works for you and is super easy and reliable to use on the road.
Ooh, I make sure to just practice the set list, basically, because when I'm usually practicing, I play to like a lot of songs, and I do sometimes like studio jobs and session jobs and such things. But just before tour, I really make sure that I have everything written down for me to bring, so I know that I bring everything with me, and basically just practicing our set over and over again. That is like the most important thing for me to get ready for the tour.
Ooh, sit by the computer a lot. Fix the backing tracks and all the automation for the whammies and for the Kempers and for the bass. You need everything. I want everything to be perfect, so when you're out there on the road, nothing can go wrong. You don't want any surprises, so I like to be prepared.
Wow, that is a very difficult question. Like, yeah, for the gear, shit, everything is important for me. But I'm a sweet guy. I'm a sweet guy, so I'm a really big fan of candy. So I always have to have some type of candy laying around close by, especially during those hard-end days when I feel a bit grumpy. I think that would be the most important thing.
Backup guitar. You need a backup guitar. I've actually broken 4 strings on this tour, like 4 different times. It's like the bridge. Yeah, the bridge in the guitar is like rusted and super old, so it become very sharp, and the strings have broken on like different strings. So you need a backup guitar.